Hey, so today we're going to be conducting a focus group for our Foundations of Research class. I don't know if our colleagues have told you what we're going to do. Our topic is about sustainability and cooking for students. And is it okay before we start that we record all of you?
Sure. Yes.
And could you all introduce yourself briefly to each other, starting from the left side?
I'm very bad. Put your secure so big and let's see. Yeah. Calvin, 24 years old, international and European law student and RCM student as well.
I'm new and 20 years old. I've been Asia.
Hi, I'm Faitan, 19 years old and currently studying the IFNC. No, my name is John. I'm studying international law first year.
Hello, my name is Nadia, and I'm also a first-year student of international law.
Hi, I'm Ellen. I'm 19 years old and I'm also studying international law.
And hi, I'm Nora, and I'm 19, and I'm also studying international law.
So before we spark, we're doing a little icebreaker. It's just a little short question. How often do you guys cook for yourselves, and what do you enjoy about cooking? Anyone?
Obviously, I'm really into cooking. I don't like cooking. Bad. So,
Cook for myself, I very cook for myself, but I work as a chef, so I cook for people. So
I cook for myself every day. I like dining out. I like to cook and eat at home, so I do it every day.
Actually, I don't cook that much. I just cook sometimes when I feel like it's doing.
I cook shouldn't barrel.
Yeah, do.
I cook daily, and I love cook because I'm an easy beater, so it's easy to cook for myself.
I usually on weekends and make enough food for during the week. That way, I don't have to focus on making food during the week, but it's already pre-made on the weekend.
yeah, for me, it depends about the time. Then I cook for myself, but if not, I just go to the cafeteria here or just see where I get my food from.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, guys. So to reiterate, today we're going to discuss what challenges students face in implementing sustainable thinking habits in their lifestyles. And again, it's meant to be an open discussion, so don't feel afraid to share your thoughts and your opinions, to say space. We're just going to jump right into it. The first topic is perceptions of sustainability. So the first question is, what does sustainable cooking mean to you, and why do you think it matters?
Well, to me, it means like using using ingredients and practices that minimize environmental impacts.
Yeah, for example, if you buy regional products, if the footstep of the CO2, or what's it called, is less, so it's good if you go to market, for example, to buy fresh ingredients and everything.
Yeah, I think definitely going to the markets. In my family, we usually go twice a week to make sure our nutrition really comes from the local area. And then otherwise, if you shop in a more industrial, like Albert Heijn or something, making sure a lot of the food is local. For me, it's important to choose the right brand because same product from two different brands can really differ.
Yeah, I think sustainable cooking is very healthy, especially with all stuff they put in foodie fish. But I also think it's more expensive. So eating sustainable or eating stuff that's sustainable is always an option.
For me, I guess sustainability cooking means that you will find an alternative of something that you daily use. For example, most of us when we fry something, we use palm oil, which is the carbon print of palm oil, and is one of the highest in the world right now. In that far perspective, and then you can change it, for example, with lard, like pork lard, or maybe cow lard or something like that. That's for me. That's what's sustainable.
Yeah, but for me, it's in general, it's just about focus on about health and protecting nature with sustainability.
It's a perfect ending to that question because our next question is, what ways do you think sustainable cooking can positively or negatively impact the environment? So we already heard from you and Kelvin a little bit. Is anyone else? How it can remain producible way?
That's always important, Kiko. Also, the topic of needs can I maybe from the discussion, because I think we all know that the production of meats and everything is not very sustainable, and by now there are many alternatives that when you are able to cook the goods, they are really, really nice, and that's something that has to be implemented a bit to society. I think that there are these alternatives, and they are yummy. You just have to be willing to try it.
Okay, I think it's even sustainable is also becoming a trend, which a lot of big companies are following, which kind of make it a great area. I mean, using sustainability sticker on food products, for example, in the trend, it's not always right, and it just kind of creates out or it commercializes sustainable food, which isn't really good.
I think at some point sustainability for especially in gastronomy and F&B, it's a fate topic to discuss right now, and it's a great point because like everybody want to become sustainable, but when you will like as you said when talking about like a butcher house and farm that produce meat, they some people be like, oh my god, it is not sustainable. But if we think about it, on not every mass-produced food, especially I'm gonna say sorry, bio food is not sustainable at all. First of all, and for example, vegetarian food is not sustainable at all too. I'm gonna give an example. For example, you're vegetarian and you want to eat avocado. Where do you think avocados grow? It's not in Europe. I'm sorry, because there is no semi-tropical or tropical land in Europe. So where they grow it? Maybe in South Europe, for example, like Greek or make it worse, California. The carbon print of killing the bees, killing the insect that maybe gonna kill the plants and shipping out with truck or ship or plane is there are a lot of carbon footprint. So for me, sustainability right now is really important, and I think we cannot really say it easy that this is sustainable, this is not sustainable if it's regarding food, because everything gonna produce footprint, like carbon footprint, and that's not sustainable at all.
I think sustainability kind of the meaning of the word it kind of becomes fake because most business is equal to eating healthy or make sure. I mean, but sustainability also means that everybody involved in the process of making your food gets paid equal, so they can sustain their families and they can always make sure their priority for their food is they're making a good product and not for say making money. So I think the meaning of the word should really be more, I should say specific. Yeah.
And to sort of add on to what you guys are saying, sometimes the alternative to meat is sometimes more processed eating than the meat itself, and it goes through much more industrialization to make that product arrive in your supermarket. Whereas if you, like you mentioned earlier, just sometimes go to the farmer itself and buy the meat from there, that's way cleaner than buying fake meat that has been processed and that's been taking months to make, you know? So I do understand that sometimes it's a better option, but also like you mentioned earlier, where is it coming from originally is also important.
Does anyone else have anything to add? Okay, so really great points there from both sides. As students, how do you think or see sustainable cooking fit into the student lifestyle?
To me, it fits into student lifestyle by offering affordable, healthy, and simple meal option for them.
I really think this is very subjective. It depends on the student, what's their schedule, what's their lifestyle, where they're from. There are many different factors that determine if sustainable cooking is a great option for a student or not. For example, one student can have a very busy schedule, just doesn't have time to cook for themselves. The other one, on the other hand, can have a lot of time during the day, during the week, and then they can choose to cook more sustainably. But as I said, it is a matter of individual preferences, say.
Yeah, I would agree to that, but I would also add that it's not only a time question, but also a financial question, because if we like follow the rule, as you said, that it's sustainable, also means that the families, for example, who produce the chocolate, they are paid fairly and everything. Then the chocolate, of course, has its own price. And I think we as students, I can afford that by now. So I think for students, it is very hard to live a sustainable lifestyle, which like covers all of fields of sustainability.
If you want to eat sustainable food, then make sure you get in yourself first. And most students, let's be honest, we barely come by. Yeah. I mean, first of all, like time-wise, you had, and also skill-wise. I mean, most of us who cook ourselves, let's be honest, we never go out of the comfort zone, all the food, which is most that very simple food, which we, can go wrong, because what if we make something that we don't like or we don't want to eat it? What, just throw it away? You don't have to find us with another flavor stuff.
To me, I'm a first year, so I've only been living by myself for like 2 months for now, and I definitely saw a big change of living at home where my parents took care of what we were gonna eat the week and where the food came from, and I obviously saw that it was much more sustainable. So my family, we make like on yogurts and stuff, but we try to be sustainable that way. But then arriving here, sometimes it's just so easy to pick the cheapest option of meats because you want to get your protein. And I come from a family where we do eat meat. And so I just look at sometimes the cheapest option for chicken because to me it tastes the same, but I also know like maybe it's not the best morally right thing to do in that moment. But when it's 7 at night and you're coming home from class, like you're really gonna pick the quickest, easiest things.
Yeah, eating sustainable is a luxury, another luxury that every student has.
I think as a student, nobody expects you to be fully sustainable. It's the small things that matter. For example, I haven't seen it in my country ever, but here in the supermarkets, I see raw potatoes and pre-cooked potatoes that are cut and put it into plastic packages. It doesn't take much effort to buy a raw potato and cook it yourself. You just boil the water, throw the potatoes, that's it. But it's already a great change. So it's about the small things. You don't have to grow your own potatoes. Nobody expects that. It's about the small things. That's what changes. So besides time-wise and financially and societal expectations, are there any other challenges as students that you see?
I think it's a knowledge for me. I don't know, maybe because I work in the food and beverage field, so I get more knowledge about it. But what I really realized, I've been here for 3 years as a student, I really realized that not all of the students have a knowledge to do a sustainable cooking. For example, they just build the potato, they just build the, what's it called? Carrot skin, potato skin, and then the onion skin, for example, they just throw it away. Well, where you can make it sustainable by, for example, make a vegetable fondue from it, or like, for example, like a beef. You buy a beef from the store and you use the bone, and you buy chicken using the bone. You can actually make a beef broth, or you can actually make the chicken broth from it. I think that kind of knowledge is quite important to live a sustainable lifestyle as a student. But sadly enough, not every student have knowledge for that. Maybe we should teach them more or something like that.
And motivation. I mean, most of us are getting tons of liable night to like get a shit together and do everything by ourselves. And sometimes I just don't feel like cooking, even at 5. I'm like, fuck, I already did so many things today. I just wrote best Turkish guy. Let me get Turkish pizza. And see, of course, I may have to prove, but let's be honest, I don't feel like it. I want to lay down. I'm lazy, man. I think we're all by ourselves. And they're already getting thrown in this stupid life, adult life, where to get a shit together. Sometimes peace is option. So there's not really a reason to focus.
No. Yeah, but you don't do that every day. You do that once in a target, right?
Mine's still up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here in the parts. That doesn't really work. I mean, I know people who do takeout every day. And me personally, I don't have money for opposite. But it's not really weird. I mean, let's be honest, you can still have STEM. Fuck you, by the way. You can still Scooby out about it. you can still have a stable food if you order it or if you get it from outside. There's no reason or not to. Just for it, just that a stable food doesn't mean you have to stay for yourself.
And I have noticed one thing, I guess I can't answer the question, but in Albert Heijn, they do these boxes where there's a Nutri-Score on it and everything, and inside it's maybe less than €5 usually, and it's a portion for 3 to 4 people, and I cook for myself, so then I have like 4 meals for myself, and I haven't done it very often, but like you get the perfect amount of each ingredient, and that's also afraid to just pick the recipe when you're in the shop as well. And it just seems sustainable rather than eating takeout everything as well.
There's more work. I don't even know what you're cooking. Then the recipe, you're busy with it longer. Let's be honest, if I'm hungry, I don't want to be busy cooking for an hour or two.
But I think, and also matters how you were brought up. I think for me, I grew up in a family where we cook and my parents cook on the weekend to make the meals for the week, and we have explored like different types of cooking, and we had these like safe recipes. But then if I don't eat healthy, then I feel like shit about myself, and to me it's kind of a habit as well, you know. So that also depends, like you said, it's subjectors. Each person is different.
Which I get. I mean, look, let's be honest, the price for eating sustainable food is not only your own comfort, it's your time, and so many different prices you pay for stable food. And it's not like it's a cooking bomb. We don't, most of us, or at least I can speak going myself obviously, but I think the pressure is not high to eat stable right now. I feel like right now, it's once again a luxury. It's something people do when they have the time to be able to, think about it and be busy with it. I'm already sustainable in so many different ways besides food. So I feel like I don't have to be
Now,
always.
not everything I make is sustainable, but I try to make everything fresh. None like I mentioned earlier, I will pick the cheapest chicken option, and yes, that's not sustainable, but maybe like eating the fresh food at the end of the day when I'm from home, it's healthy for me in a way. So it's also about finding like where you fit in the whole thing. But it is definitely hard, and it does cost a lot of money to eat sustainable every day.
I mean, most of those, me personally, I take acai meats. I get the gummy bear stuff goodbye. And I do that because I feel like the food everybody knows not always know. And how does that factor in with sustainable food? If I eat more stable food, which may be lower on fibers or whatever, I have to fill that up again anyway. Extra stuff, which is less stable. To overcompensate. Yeah. Flakiness. So, does it really work? Is stable food always really stable? Or do we just throw some?
So really, really, really good points. Before we segue into our next topic, Calvert, stop playing topic. Put it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next topic is about the awareness of environmental impact. And we've already talked a bit about grocery shopping or cut into the farmer's market. When choosing and buying food ingredients, how much do you consider the carbon footprint of what you're eating? How much is it consciously there?
Honestly, I don't really focus on that. I just focus on the amount of price. This is assume that we just like as cheap as possible, but it's good nutrition. It's good nutrition. It's better. Like not really focus on about the sustainability.
Yeah, same with her. Actually, when I choose the food I eat, I don't pay attention much to the carbon footprint of it. But I usually prefer the food that is affordable, healthy, and for sure tasty.
I think food is one of the subjects matter which I prioritize myself, and that's maybe how much they are sustainable in the clothes and the way I make. And food is just something to me is like catches when I don't want to be more troubles because of food priorities. Am I full? Am I enjoying it? And And I feel like because everything has to be sustainable, we kind of lose the value, especially around food, because sustainable food, it's not a bit that much, but it if you go with your eyes. And there are more ways food affects, or things affects food than really. Like I said, organic food, like how cheap food, there's more of a high priority we need them or staying with. Especially fit at the shop. I get to my friend, but I better shit it out again later that day. I mean, it doesn't have to be best said for me. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is a film. I don't know, that's with my friend.
For me myself, because I work with a really fresh product, like literally first hand, we are a first hand buyer. If you want to stock at the restaurant, so from that, I can already say that it's the carbon footprint is already really less because we bought straight from the farm, really fresh. So because of that, I'm getting used to eating really fresh. For example, vegetable, or for example, meat. Like it just get farmed 1 day ago, or like literally a few hours ago. It just got butchered a few hours ago. So maybe for now, when I cook for myself at home, it's quite sustainable because the footprint is carbon footprint is less as well, because I always buy it from, for example, the most fresh butter here. Or for example, I went to the farm market when the farmer literally came from the farm and then sell it there, so it's quite fresh.
But how much shame do we have in our food and how sustainable it is? I mean, it's the farmers that basically, I mean, the carbon footprint, for example, I don't have anything to do with it. I can't control the farmer, I can't control the butcher, I can't control the guy who rides around, who brings to the supermarket. So all things that affect carbon footprint.
You create a demand for it.
Yeah.
That by going there and buying the product, it's gonna come back next week on the shelf because the 20 of you went to buy it. But if I don't buy that mango that came from Brazil and everyone else chooses to not buy that mango, Albert Heijn is not going to get those mangoes because no one's buying the mangoes.
No, I would agree, but on this topic, as a speaker, food is not something that you demand. It's a basic right, it's a basic need. So there's always a demand for food. Now, what could I influence the quality of food? Yes. But then once again, how many times do we see in the news that one of the big farmers were lying about their statistics and whatever? I mean, like, how much do we actually control it? I mean, sure, the man does make influence, but the things I buy in a grocery shop on a weekly basis change so much. I don't really, food is basically, it's not really much for some, I get, like,
That's why I was like, the reason why I'm saying this is because you can actually control what we're talking about sustainability, especially carbon footprint. That from the partnership to the plate to your plate, you can actually totally control it. For example, what distribution system has a big as I'm sorry for my language, it has a really big carbon footprint. Distribution system, for example, Albert Heijn or Jumbo distribution system has a big carbon footprint. The way you can still be sustainable and carve it out, just buy a local fresh product. That's what I mean, like go to the local butcher shop that's really fresh, go to a local farmer market. For example, we have a Haagse Mart here, it's totally locals. Or maybe you can buy, if you want to go a swing, you can go to Hoef van Holland, you can buy fresh fish from the fishermen, That's only a small way, but it's actually really big impact.
Yeah, I would agree to that. But I also want to maybe emphasize that like talking about sustainability in your own life is a privilege, because when I stand in front of the thing, and I'm thinking, should I take the bio eggs or should I take the normal eggs? And afford both, that's a privilege. And that's why I really want to underline that also the politics have to do something about it and maybe make subvention, if that's the right word, on products to make it more affordable for the people who can't buy it otherwise.
It's not special stuff because we import most of the food. Iran able to sustain itself with a power for ourselves. And as long as there's capitalism, there's business, and we want to make money. And you can have like a good enough footprint and sustainability is what? Opportunities that make a profit. And we already showed way to pay for our products. And even if they come cheaper or more stable, it won't actually in like shop. So it's not really a choice. It's not helpful.
Yeah, Tommy, can I say something? I mean, about fresh meats or something like that. I'm gonna say that's totally true. What people don't really realize that a traditional market, when local farmer, local butchers people, they sell their things, it's sometimes way more cheaper. For example, a big rack of bags, like which is like a 32 hours in it, in Albert it's around €8, but in the local market, the custom market, it's €5.50, if I'm not mistaken. I buy traditional like that. For example, 1 kilogram of meat, 1 kilogram of beef. I got it at the Albert Heijn. You can buy it for what, like €11 or €12. At the butcher shop that I bought, it's like really fresh from the 21st hand. It's around €9. It's like €1 cheaper, you know. So you actually, it's actually possible to get more cheaper, sustainable food, but you're gonna take effort for it. You're gonna take effort by looking for which store that
It's too much of a factor. I mean, let's say I do want to be sustainable or whatever, and I go somewhere else. How the fuck do I go? How do I go there? Do I go with scooter? Do I go with the feet I buy? Do I walk? I mean, that also has an imprint or effect. I mean, if I go into a very healthy and very sustainable farmer, but in somewhere in Westland, I have to go with car. There's gas and everything. With food, the effect we have on sustainability is so small that, in my opinion, it kind of cancels the whole sustainability out. I mean, it's not worth it. I mean, even if I go somewhere like far away for better and stable food, the way I do that, I still care. Not enough, in my opinion. Yeah.
These are all really, really great points, and we have a lot of topics still to discuss. But it's really clear that, you guys are all different age ranges, that you're aware of the issues and maybe how they come about and maybe how you can avoid them or choose better practices in buying foods. But we do have to move to our next topic, and I know you guys all we're all on a time crunch here, so we want to make sure that everyone can say what they need to. But yeah, considering these challenges, we should discuss how social media and influencers or content creators can address them. This is a big part of our project. How often do you see influencers or internet personalities promoting sustainability in cooking?
Well, there's one TikTok is there who always added in salad. She's done with the harvester. Well, I will not. That's good, but I wouldn't want to be kicked for 8 hours. Then I'll keep years old. That's okay.
I think in the social media world, when we see sustainability, it's the other way around. For example, there was a trend on TikTok about resale microwavably, and people were buying food products that were in packaging, and were from packaging away, and placing their products in a new, fancy, pretty looking packaging. So it's using twice as much of the plastic and ordinary packaging just for the aesthetic, and I think this is what we mostly see in the internet, not the other way around. Of course, there are exceptions, but it's the minority.
I also have to say that I know some influencers in the German bubble who do vegan and sustainable content, and they, for example, one of them have created an Aufkauf challenge, which means like using everything challenge, using everything for 1 month that they already have in their cabin, in their fridge. And I think that's a very good idea, because I think we all, especially my parents, like we have a lot of pasta in there, and throughout this challenge you can use everything you have and come to creative like recipes maybe. Yeah.
So, Anya, I can say that there's maybe not type an influencer has inspired you to try a sustainable habit or recipe.
There's actually some like, but it's quite impossible. I mean, it's depend on your place. Where do you live? You know what I mean? Like, I watched a lot of really fresh product made by chef, which they hunt. Let's say the deer, they cook it. By the way, this when up there and hunt the deer, you know what I pay? It's quite impossible. Like, maybe we're fishing, but come on, no, who gonna? Am I gonna fish tuna in this on a Scandinavia base? Possible, you know.
And this how many of us that our lives get imposed by advisors?
Yep.
Yeah. I did.
Did that?
Sure. I mean, even like on the table, there's only Apple things that's already being influenced by some forms of Friday. Yes. So like maybe in cooking, I don't see a lot of partners. There's people that cook in the forest in Sakazaki, and that's great. But like we said earlier, like it's these people that's their job is to create content. For me, that's not what I have time for in my day to make bread.
Yeah, I mean, influence and stuff like that, they're very social part of life, and we eat 3 times, or we should be 3 times a day, and we don't always do it with somebody else. So food, once again, it means it's not something we do or you with our feet. People really don't care about how it goes or more in depth. It's just food. You can do mostly alone. So I don't do that being influenced with social steps goes.
If there was an influencer that you guys followed who is about sustainable cooking, what content or type of campaigns would inspire you to adopt it into your lifestyle? Like what sustainable cooking habits?
Affordability of the favorites. We are affordable buying food. I want to go to some supermarket that pay 13 euros for buying drink. Ever heard of those? No. He's getting out. And he knows. I mean, if it's cheaper, if it's a smart stern, that's only thing that would change my habit of eating. It'll be a better option.
So as an influencer was to make a campaign or partner with, let's say, a food corporation.
With the commercializers, we're now against it.
Okay, so yeah. So there, for you, there would be...
Not a influencer, not a PR management. There's nothing that I would really think, oh, they want to make one. And because that's what they do. That's why they has that all run in PR marketing. You know how expensive. I mean, if they have willing to do that, they could just as well, I don't know, give money away to a better cause instead of hundreds of thousands of euros to PR and marketing. Just they want to have this help out more. Is they want to see, they want to have something in return. And that's profit. That's something. Especially with marketing.
So I want to agree that it's all about money at the end of the day. And I want to say that in Poland, there is, I would say, micro-influencer. She's a middle-aged woman, and she says that she grew up really poor. And now she creates content on Instagram mostly, where she shows very simple, maybe not the best in the world, but very simple recipes that are, for example, that can feed a family for, I don't know, 2 or 3 euros. So she's just really highlighted the fact that you can make it affordable, but you need to put the effort into it. But this is really motivating, because when I go shopping and I'm like, I don't have anything to eat because I can't afford it, then I think about her, and my mind just goes creative, and then try to think about more ways to feed myself that will be more sustainable and cheaper at the same time.
There's core difference because she wouldn't be as much faithful, so she's very relatable. You can relate to. Oh, she's from habit domain, she's just normal journey. And that makes the difference between that and a influencer with their marketing stunt, Malcolm. And it is what's the intent. And with her is more fast growth than Kada. So I think it's a very big difference you could keep in mind. To her other influencers.
I think what would be nice, like you got said, if there was someone making videos about a more affordable with that is sustainable, because now I
it does come to mind some influencers that make cheap student meals, and it's great, but it also means like when I go to the supermarket, like I keep saying, like the cheapest option is not the most sustainable option. So there used to be a bit of like a middle ground where you have to, I guess, be willing to prioritize your health and the health of the environment. And I know that's a very privileged thing to say, and not everyone can do that. But for the people like me who can, I do understand it's my responsibility to make an effort to shop their more healthy and more sustainable, because many people don't have that privilege. So if you do have the financial means to do it, then there's no excuse to not do it, I think.
Sustainability does stay cheapest option. It stays the cheap
For now, yeah.
stays a poor family, stays a poor or
Sustainable with the environment.
But that's the help. It does different because in that case,
So I think that's what if there's like an influence.
I can stability in the sense of you can reuse it and make the most out of the like products. Yeah. And there shouldn't be always be clear extended. There should also be connection. Also, time wise, all should be sustainable. They will be doable on offer.
So now that we pause by Edwards, we're just gonna quickly go into behavior, and then we're gonna conclude the focus group. But yeah, I think we've segued a lot from the questions. There's like a lot of elaborate answers, which is really, really great. Is there any personal successes that you've changed the habit because of something you learned about sustainability that like it stuck with you?
Like me, like
Food wise, or just any like if the
shops, codes,
and it yeah
and using codes just through officials. Not paying likewise $1 at a brand store, which I could officials and clothing is the most impactful in life. Cheers or
For me, is to meeting on foot or by since I go to runs instead of bars.
Yeah, for me, just simple like that. Like for example, I would give an example about using a recipe, not the recipe, the waste of the food, like around carrot peel, carrot skin, potato skin to a product, or anything left from the food I made to a product or something like that. And after that, for example, the recipe offered the product, I can shred it out and put it in become a composite. You know what I mean? As for grants, it's really I do that still, but it's winter, so it's quite possible to grow plant now. So yeah, I do that.
Also, I think my carries are doing that because of my mom. She's doing the compost, and she spun like a worm hotel where you put the peeled skin in there, and there are like the little worms, and they eat it, and then something develops. I don't know the name of it, and then you can put it as like fertilizer. Oh yeah, it sounds well in the plants. So yeah, maybe that's an idea for any funny.
So it's a composite basically shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyone from this end that was Ricardo? Yeah, that's not. That's okay. Our last topic is just the challenges in safe cooking and the questions we've covered a lot just off topic. If there is one thing that can help you cook sustainably, what would it be? Your tree pot.
What? Someone tell me what I can do with this thing. You know what I mean? Like, as if someone not really close, like someone that really, I'm gonna say like relatable, like for example, the student with the same financial situation and same environmental situation as me that can tell me what to do. For example,
sustainability debate, for like clear. That's about I want to know what does sustainability mean, how and what kind of different ways then something more share, you know? For example, if I walk into a supermarket, I see a post with 10 tips can do to your state. Right now, I'm just this all I know, and all I know is because things I see already.
And then I think it's both spreading the awareness, but not just talking about it, but sharing practical steps that you can.
Yeah, examples. So like, I mean, help us come somewhere. I mean, most of us, we want to do that, obviously, but where do we start? do we start with, going for the more expensive option? That's always, there are easier ways, and let you be more very.
It's pretty great. Before we end, is there anything that anyone wants to add or any suggestions about what we've discussed?
I should have a platform, like I think a platform, many accounts in Instagram where I like a show of easy food that you can make with a cheap price with a sustainable way as well. So yeah, it's actually I'll kind of try to help student as well. She knows because she's not right. I think he knows because I don't know. He knows, but yeah, I just like make a course about food that I make, and then I'll be like, if you want to know the recipe, just slide it right there. I'm gonna give the recipe, and I'm gonna say how it's help in with sustainable something like that. And the second one, you can actually participate in something. If we talk about cooking, there's something in the Hay called Coach's Kitchen. You guys should participate about it. You video also do what? Yeah, to which goes an app for free food that they wanna show before it's expired. But for Conscious Kitchen, just join us every Wednesday. We can go to market.
Whoa, advertisement.
It's a Prestige to be an NGO, and then every Thursday we're gonna cook for around €2 or €3 ticket. But it's like buffet, like all you can eat. So join us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think sustainability is very much be put together with stuff like social communication. And that's because we want to show what we're sustainable, which I think we should get rid of that. For example, on this kind of social media, before it's the same. If I just make us asking shit into putting your phone as it's all that stable. And I think we should really get rid of the whole sustainability and online credits. I mean, most people don't even they used to be thread online, remember? Like vegans and they always want to show it. And now that they calm down, people are more cautious and more more art. So we should get rid of that. It doesn't help.
And one last thought from years, you mentioned something about overconsumption and the packaging and restocking my fridge and stuff. And there is now starting to be importers that are making the opposite of showing you don't need to buy this many store things for your fridge, and it's overconsumption or something like that. And I think social media was more shining a light on that parts of the algorithm. It would also be nice to go home and to not feel like my fridge looks like a mess because it's all in these random packaging that don't fit the color of the others, but that's life,
Yeah, I hear you, and I think this concept is just developing in the social media world, and I'm glad it does, but it's it's a little percentage compared to the other side of the medal. But I think the information is spreading fast in the internet, and the awareness is as well. So I hope this trends will develop even more and grow from now, and I hope to seeing it more important.
Not me. I want to see more food because when I'm laying in my bed, keep a bag of potatoes, I would feel bad about myself. And I see that I'm I actually do shit about myself, and I feel I'm be stable, be better, I'm get algorithm, sir. Oh man, how we're food change that that costs so already. Yeah, it feels like I'll put a case against myself here, but I mean, I don't get that. I think sustainability, the whole stuff, we gotta do it as a group and make sure it's not a whole particular individual thing. I don't want to be more. Delvin is more stable than me. Doesn't mean he's better than me. Yeah, but it's every.
It was the perfect note to end him off. Thank you so much for participating, sharing your thoughts. It's really interesting to see the different science and your different opinions based on upbringing and your lifestyles, and it's gonna help us a lot for our final projects. And
Where are we getting feet?